What does that industry specialty actually know? Since industry as such, right, is a classification, so they are per definition, 5-10 years behind. If if you're a life science company today, that's not what a life science company is in 3 years. My favorite image about this is this frog that I guess fell asleep on a lake and froze. Even something as agile as a frog, right? That's kind of the idea here is you may think you are this agile individual or this agile organization, but unless you rethink the way that you approach knowledge, you might end up that way. In working on Yegii, I did an enormous amount of interviews with very smart people who, after about 25 minutes, that's when smart people start admitting that they're not so smart. They said to me, I used to be an expert in this. In fact, people consider me an expert in this. In fact, some of my colleagues at Sloan said, journalists call me constantly about this. And sometimes I just have to turn them down because honestly, I'm not an expert anymore. That to have a real knowledge platform as a basis for whether you are competing for something or you're actually just for yourself gathering knowledge so you can present it to your boss and look smart in the time frame that your boss wants you to look smart, which is yesterday, or in 10 minutes we have this meeting. It's things like this. So what changes on the technology end of things? What changes on the regulatory side? How do business models evolve? And how does the user behavior evolve? You have a challenge, which is hard to do, but the process is simple. You post the challenge, you try to search for experts, you choose some experts, and you work with them and you find some results. So what we are trying to do is to take it almost up to the strategic consulting level, but where strategic consulting meets expertise. We're saying in all of this maze of information that potentially will give you an information overload, there must be ways that we can figure out which of those reports matter. If you only have 5 minutes, if you only have an hour, if you only have a week, right? So these are the different perspectives, whether you are kind of an executive, whether you are working in the strategy team for the executive, or you actually are that expert who supposedly knows everything. So what we have figured out is, it's actually not that clear at all.